The financial sector contributes around 9% to Switzerland's GDP. Nearly half of this contribution comes from the insurance sector. However, the banking industry is more widely recognized. Today, we aim to shed some light on the lesser-known part of this equation. Welcome to Finance.Swiss. I'm Tanya König, and today I'm speaking with Katja RothPellanda, General Counsel at one of the world's leading multi-line insurance companies, Zurich Insurance Group. Katja, tell us, what does your role as General Counsel entail and what drew you to this position?
Yes, absolutely. And first of all, many thanks for having me here. My role as General Counsel at Zurich is, of course, on first hand, we advise on legal topics. We have a team of around 700 members globally. Everybody is vertically integrated, so we are quite a huge team. We advise on legal topics. We are responsible for corporate governance. We deal with regulatory affairs, with investigations and litigation. So it's a very broad function. It's a holistic approach is needed. And I'm very happy to be here working for an insurance company like Zurich.
Great. Now, in Switzerland, the banking sector has decreased while the added value from the insurance sector has grown. What do you think? What were the key drivers for this positive development?
I think one of the key drivers is the history of Switzerland being a global leading financial center, and also Zurich as a company can look back to more than 150 years of existence. So I think this history gives us the basis of being a stable and reliable country and company, and that's for me one of the key drivers of the current success of Switzerland and also of Zurich. Being a lawyer, I think it's also very important to point to the legal environment in Switzerland. We have more or less, or in general, a principle-based approach of the regulation and the law. So this allows us to apply a holistic and more agile approach. Instead, if everything was very detailed laws, detailed regulation, because if it's too detailed, it makes it very burdensome for the companies, also from an administrative perspective. So I think it's the history, it's the legal and regulatory environment we have in Switzerland, and then it's also the excellent workforce, highly skilled employees which we have in Switzerland. From my perspective, this gives the basis of the success. It's also very important for the innovation in Switzerland. But it's also the saying where you say, like, what brought us here doesn't necessarily bring us there, also applies for Switzerland and for global companies. So we really need to focus on transformation, be ready to challenge ourselves, to look a little bit what our peers are doing. So it's a constant transformation, constantly thinking what can we do better, so we cannot stand still. I think that's also very important.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about international requirements, because banks are subject to international capital requirements such as Basel II or Basel III, while the insurance sector doesn't have equivalent global standards. Now, as a multinational operating in around 200 countries, how does Zurich manage these risks associated with adhering to different rules in different countries?
I mean, for the insurance business, trust is something very important. Experience is something very important. So it's really important that we have a stable regulatory environment, that we have knowledgeable supervisor authorities. And I think that's for each and every country really the basis for striving for success. Maybe being a global company also brings certain advantages with it, because from my perspective, regulators all over the world focus on similar topics, but the pace in which they apply new laws and regulation may be different. So sometimes we see something in the States and then it comes to Europe or to APAC or something in LATAM. And in general, I have to say regulators focus on similar topics. It's capital requirements, it's customer protection, it's innovation, new, better products for the customers, for the policyholders. It's sustainability, it's diversity. So I think in this regard, it also helps us being a global company to see where the trends and developments are going. Of course, in particular with the geopolitical environment, also sometimes it's quite difficult because there are conflicting laws and regulations. So it's not always easy, but I think we find our way through, and if we manage our internal network, our internal knowledge and experience in the right way, it can be a benefit. On the other hand, what I think is also very important is, and this is very well done in Switzerland, that it's a transparency if new laws and regulation will come into force. So in Switzerland, before the lawmaker or the regulator implements a new law, there is a draft, there is a consultation period, companies, people can give their view and say what they like and what they don't like. But of course, we then also need to be heard, and it needs to be implemented what companies want and what they want to achieve.
So, from what I'm hearing, would you say that Switzerland is business friendlier than other jurisdictions?
Yes, I think Switzerland is a business-friendly jurisdiction. As said, it's a stable jurisdiction. The law and regulation provides the right background. And I think this is only being visible because Switzerland is still one of the most innovative, if not the innovativest country in the world. We have good education, as said. We also have an open labor market, and I think that's something which is really important, that we get the right people also from abroad, the right talents, that we get inspired, that we look outside of what's happening in Switzerland and really also challenge us through that. But I think it's also very important that we don't get complacent as a country, as a society, and as companies, because we live in very healthy, very stable surroundings. So for us, sometimes I think we need ourselves to be challenged to really get better, to do better, and not just standing still. So I think yes, at the moment Switzerland is still business friendly, but we really need to ensure that this continues also in the future.
How so?
It's important that we remain competitive, that we still focus on a good education, that we don't adapt laws which are too intrusive for the companies. So there are many ways, I think, where we need to be careful. And as said, also the understanding between companies, society and government, and the collaboration together is really important. We need to listen more of each other and then take the necessary steps going forward. It's also visible with the geopolitical problems or with the sustainability topics. I don't think that we can solve the sustainability problem by ourselves, not as a company, not as a government, not as a country. We really need to work together, everybody.
And to make sure that there's so many insurance companies as here. I mean, Zurich is just sandwiched between Swiss Life and Swiss Re, which...
Oh, we feel very privileged in these nice surroundings here and with the beautiful view on the lake.
Now, in June, Zurich announced the successful acquisition of a 70% stake in Kotak General Insurance, making Zurich the first insurer to enter India since the 2021 amendment of foreign direct investment rules, which now allow up to 74% of ownership in Indian companies. So what implication does this significant change in regulatory requirements have for the future collaboration between Swiss and Indian companies?
Yes, we are very happy about this transaction, and I also think partially it's grounded in the history. There have always been very solid and friendly diplomatic relations between Switzerland and India. Switzerland was one of the first countries who recognized the Indian independence. We have also been one of the first countries who entered into a trade agreement with India, which allows both countries market access and legal certainty. And yes, absolutely, as you mentioned, with this increase of threshold for foreign investments in India from below 50 to 74, this is just a very good ground for us and a secure way for us to doing business in India. And if you look at India, it has the largest working age population. and the biggest middle class. So it's also very attractive from an economic standpoint. So we are very excited about this transaction. We are very much looking forward to this long-term relationship, and we think we can bring to the table our long experience in general insurance, and Kotak brings the local reach and experience as well. So for us it's a long-term investment, and we are very happy and very much looking forward on how it's going to develop.
Great, and we're very curious to see that as well. Thank you very much, Katja RothPellanda, for taking your time.
Thank you very much as well, Tanya. It has been a pleasure.